cool.
All right, we got this material.
Yeah,
Which
so
one
he
do you want to
said,
look at? I can blow it up here.
sure, before we start, he said just do all the odds starting at 3.
Okay,
Um, so just like 3, 5, 7, all those.
let's look at 3.
Cool.
Whoops. How come I can't move that over? Huh,
It's alright.
that's
Okay.
weird.
That is weird.
That's really weird, isn't it? Yeah,
It
I
is.
won't move to the right. I wonder if maybe it would work. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me blow it up to where I at least can read it. There we go. So write a function whose graph represents the indicated transformation of the graph of f. Okay, so f of x is x minus 5, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to translate that 4 units to the left, what do I come up with? In other words, here's what I want to do. I want to do f of x minus,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, I almost wrote it wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, okay. Wouldn't it be minus 9?
Well, it would be this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a key thing to understand with transformations, is how
Yeah.
to write them in f of x notation. Okay?
Okay.
Well, when they say translate it 4 units to the left, it means
It means it's
instead of writing
negative,
f
right?
of x, I'm going to write f of x minus 4. So I'm going to
Okay.
substitute x minus 4 wherever I see x. And what I end up with is what you said, x minus 9.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
So the next one, oh, just the odds, huh?
Yeah, so number 5.
So in this one, f of x is the absolute value of that plus 2. And they want to translate this 2 units down. Well, the f of x notation for that is what?
Um, f of x is equal to
No, f of
x
x
or y
minus
minus
2. In other words,
f of x minus
this is what it means to translate it vertically 2 units down.
2. Okay, that makes
Okay?
sense.
Horizontally, you'll notice the previous one, I put the 4 inside the parentheses. This 2 is outside the f of x.
Okay.
This is vertical. The thing to remember on these translations is all vertical stuff is outside the function, all horizontal stuff is inside the function.
Okay.
In other words, if I said this, that's outside the function, that is a vertical reflection.
Okay.
If I said this, that is outside the function, that is a vertical stretch.
Okay.
And if I said this, that's outside the function, that's a vertical shift.
That makes sense.
And all things horizontal are inside the function. Let me just
Okay.
give it to you because this is a very, very important concept you need to get.
Yeah, definitely.
So f of minus x, notice the minus sign is inside, that's a horizontal reflection.
Okay.
F of x minus c, that's inside,
Mm-hmm.
horizontal shift, and f of some c times x, c being any number,
Mm-hmm.
that's a horizontal stretch. So
All
one
right.
way to keep the f notation straight is that way. All vertical
Mm-hmm.
stuff's outside the function, all horizontal stuff is inside the function.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes.
So if we want a vertical shift for number 5, 2 units down, then it's this. That's
Okay.
how I
And
start.
that's it.
I
Yeah.
don't start up here. I start
No.
down here. And now let's translate that. What is f of x minus 2?
Um,
In other words, what is what I have circled there?
so it'd be absolute value of 4x plus 3.
That's the answer. In other words, the original function included the plus 2, right?
Right.
But now I got to subtract 2. So the 2's
Which
go away, and you're left with just that.
okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Cool.
Number 7.
Alright.
Okay, 7. What are we doing on 7? Let's see. F of x is equal to 4 minus x plus 1. What are they asking for? So write a function that indicated transformation. They don't have anything indicated here. Is
No.
7 go with this graph here? Ah,
I believe so. Yeah.
it does. Okay, and I see the F. The F curve is the darkest one.
I believe so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the G
Yeah.
curve is the translated one. So if
Uh-huh.
I wanted to write G of x in terms of F of x, what is it?
Um,
What are we looking at? What's the difference between G and F? Just look
um,
at them.
they're just well, g of x is just translated.
Which way? Horizontally, vertical, how much?
Horizontally by, um,
Take a
by 3 units.
take the vertex and look at what's happened to the vertex.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
translated 3
right.
units.
So what G of x is F of what?
F of 3,
F of
or
x
f of
minus
x
3.
minus 3.
Remember,
Yeah.
this is what horizontal stuff looks like. All of the
Okay.
modifications have to go inside the parentheses.
Right.
Okay? So
Okay.
if G of x is F of x minus 3, and we know that it is, in other words, we can
Mm-hmm.
see that it's the same as F, has exactly the same shape, but
Right.
has been merely moved 3 units to the right, then it must be that. And now, what is f of x minus 3? I'm not sure what they want for an answer here, but how would I figure it out? In other words,
Um,
f,
yeah, so
f of x
you
is
would
up
just
there.
simplify it.
So what is f of x minus 3 equal to?
4 minus the absolute value of x plus 1
No? Remember what you do. When you
of
have
x
something
minus
in the
3.
parentheses, yes, when you have something in the
Yeah.
parentheses that's not x, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's a number or another type of x like x minus 3, what you
Mm-hmm.
do is you substitute whatever's in the parentheses for x in the original function.
Okay.
So the very first thing I'm going to do, that's where x would have been. Now I'm going to write x minus 3
Okay.
plus 1. That's what you do.
Okay. That makes
Okay,
sense.
and now simplify.
Um,
Equal to 4 minus what? What's now in
um,
the absolute value?
just x minus 3
Plus 1.
plus 1, yeah.
What is that?
Which is 4x minus
Hold
12.
on. Just what's inside the absolute value. What is it now?
4x minus 12?
No, the
Wait,
4 is outside that. Here's the absolute value. What's inside there? Simplify it.
x minus 3 plus, or x minus 4,
That's not x
basically.
minus 4. X minus 3 plus 1 is what?
Minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2, my bad.
So it's x minus 2. I was
Yeah.
getting confused because I thought that's where you were getting your 4.
No, you're right.
Okay. Um, Okay, and that's what you want to do on 7 and 8. In other words,
Okay.
what can you tell about, yeah, I know you don't have to do the even ones, but you'll notice that 8, G has the same shape exactly as F. The only
Mm-hmm.
difference is it's been moved up by 1 unit.
Okay.
So in 8, G is f of x plus 1. And by that I mean g of x is f of x with the 1 being outside the function because it's a
Mm-hmm.
vertical shift.
Right.
So as all you would do is find out what f of x is, which is listed right there, and
Mm-hmm.
add 1 to the end of it. So instead of plus 5, it's going to be plus 6.
Okay.
Okay? All right, let's look at 9. You had to do 9?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If I have to run quickly on you, it's because I have an 8:30 appointment.
Yeah, no problem.
Um, so we may not
Yeah.
get through all of these, but
Mm-hmm.
we got 10 minutes. Describe two different translations of the graph of f that result in the graph of g. Okay, what's
Okay.
one way to get g from f? Look at f as the bottom line.
Okay. Yeah.
What
Um,
could I do to f to make it look like g?
you could translate it up, 3 units.
Okay, so one way then is g of x is f of x with the 3 outside the function, because that would be a vertical shift, right?
Right.
And notice that if I add 3 to f of x, I get minus x minus 2. I get g of x.
Mm-hmm.
What's another way to look at it as opposed to a vertical shift?
Um, you could translate g of x down 3 units.
No, how would you affect f of x? How to describe translations of f that result in g? Well, one of them
Um,
was a vertical shift, but there's another one,
the slope,
horizontal shift.
or just horizontal.
Notice that if I
Yeah,
take
yeah.
this point right here and shift it 3 units to the right, I'm right on top
Mm-hmm.
of g,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if I write that, tell me how I would write g of x as a horizontal shift by 3 units to the right.
So it'd be g of x is equal to f of x, um, plus
Inside,
3
inside the parentheses, is it
inside the parentheses.
okay? And what is it? Is it x minus 3 or x plus 3?
X plus 3.
No, shifts to
Or
the
it'd be
right.
minus 3 because it's the
Remember, at
opposite.
this
It's
level
opposite.
of math, you're
Uh-huh.
always dealing with x minus h, y minus k, but mainly that one, okay? It's never plus.
Okay.
You don't ever see an x plus h. You will when you get to calculus, but you don't see it pre-calculus. So
Okay.
always assume that the standard is x minus h. And if that's the case and we want to go 3 units to the right, then it's got to be x minus 3.
And if it goes to the left, then it's x plus 3.
Correct. Now,
Okay. So it's the opposite, basically.
let's see if this one produces the correct function. Well,
Okay.
f of x is, here's f of x again. It's minus x minus 5. So f
Mm-hmm.
of x minus 3, how am I going to do that?
So it'd be f of x minus c is equal to, um, g of x,
Uh-uh.
or no. How would we do this?
Here's,
It'd just be
here's f of
minus,
x. I want you to answer me what's f of x minus 3. If f of x is this, what would f of 2 be?
um, f of x minus 2.
No, what would just f of 2 be?
Or
I know I'm confusing you a little bit here, but let's go back.
Sorry.
This is extremely important stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out how to handle things in the parentheses other than x. How do I answer that? If f of x is minus x minus 5, how do you figure out what f of 2 is?
You do -2 -5.
Right. In other words, whatever's in the parentheses, you plug in for x.
Right.
That's the answer. That's all you need to remember. Whatever is in the parentheses, you plug in for x. So what is f of x minus 3?
Is equal to um the x's would just minus x, yeah.
Plug it in
Minus
for x. Use parentheses.
right. Minus x and -5, yeah. Or
Right.
-3.
Exactly. That's how you write
Mi-
f of x minus 3, is you take
Okay.
whatever's, and this could be a complicated quotient. It doesn't have to be something simple. It doesn't matter how complicated that is. Whatever it is, you plug it in for x in parentheses, because the
Okay.
parentheses clarify it. Now, if we
Right.
take away those parentheses, what do we have? We have minus x plus 3 minus 5. Well, that's
hmm
equal to minus x minus 2, which is g of x.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we arrived at g of x two different ways. We could do a vertical shift up 3 units, or we could do a horizontal shift to the right by 3 units. Notice that each one of them was different. In other words, the vertical shift, we do that. The horizontal shift, we do that. It turns out that
hmm
in this problem, you get the same answer either one,
Okay.
that's the key. Now, that's what we want to get, is the same answer either one.
Right. Okay.
All right, write a function, maybe you have time for one more. Write a
Yeah.
function g whose graph represents the indicated transformation of the graph. Okay, so yeah, you want to make sure you get these transformations down pat. This is something you're going to have to know for a long time. This is not going
Yeah.
to go away when you get done with this section. Um,
No.
so if f of x is equal to minus 5x plus 2, first of all, what a reflection over the x-axis is a vertical reflection.
Right.
So how would I write it in terms of f of x?
In terms of f of x,
Does the negative sign go in front of the f of x or go in front of the x inside the parentheses?
wouldn't it go in front of the f
Yes, because it's a
outside of the...
vertical reflection. In other
Right.
words, a reflection over the x-axis is a vertical reflection. So this is what I want. A horizontal reflection would look like this. That's the difference. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now how do we write negative f of x?
Is equal to, would it be 5x minus 2?
No? Put the
No.
negative sign there, and what's f of x? In parentheses.
Uh,
The secret to most of these is to be very, very liberal with your parentheses.
okay. X minus 5
So
times...
the function is minus 5x plus 2. That's the
Right.
function. So is all we
Okay.
did was we put a negative sign in front of the function. Now simplify, what do you get?
And then now we would get 5x minus, or yeah, 5x minus 2.
Correct. And that's the answer.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
this represents a reflection over the x-axis of that.
Okay.
And truly the secret to all of these is figuring out this part.
Right.
In other words, the next one, 12, is also a reflection over the x-axis, so you say that's going to be minus f of x. A reflection over the y-axis Let's just do
F of,
13. Let's do 13 real quick. So this is
okay.
what we want.
Uh-huh.
And there's the
Right.
function, absolute value of 6x minus 2. So what's f of minus x?
So f of minus x would be um, minus, so it'd be minus on the outside and then parentheses.
No. Remember what we do. We take whatever's in the parentheses and we plug it in for x only.
So it'd be absolute value of 6 times minus x.
Yes, and write it like that. That way it's not confusing. In other words, it's absolutely clear what you've done if you do this.
Okay. And then
And
minus
that
2 on
is
the outside.
equal to the absolute value of minus 6x minus
Uh-huh.
2. So this is
Okay.
that's your answer. Okay?
Okay.
So the
That
secret
makes sense.
really is to take their information on the right, and all of these are reflections. So they're either
Mhm.
minus f of x or they're f of minus x.
Okay.
Okay, and if it's minus f of x, is all you do is you write minus, and then you write the function that's right above. You write that function, that's f of x. But you do it in
Right.
parentheses. Notice that if I hadn't used parentheses, I'd have gotten the sign wrong on my 2.
Okay.
Okay, so always use
Okay.
parentheses on these.
Cool.
All
That
right,
makes sense.
sorry to run on you.
No, no worries. I totally understand.
All right. I'll talk to you
Thanks for
next
some
time.
count.
Bye-bye.
Sounds good.